It's time for the final of the men's vert doubles competition here at the 97 X Games, which you're watching on Eurosport. Neil Hendricks and Mike Frazier are in second position coming out of the preliminaries. Now they try and push themselves into gold medal position, but that, for the moment, is held by McDonald and Hawke, who are still to skate. These two need to really get it together. They need to synchronize, visualize, and literally fly their way to gold medal position. So far, so good for Hendricks and Frazier. No mistakes from either of them. Both of them remaining on board for the duration of the run. Now the fun starts. Holding him up on the vert, letting a few seconds tick by, and the guys are having a good time. It's the end of the X Games. The pressure from the really important competitions, the individual competitions in street and vert, has gone away. It's time to really chill out and enjoy, and maybe make some extra prize money as well. Hendricks and Frazier will probably, I imagine, take the lead with that one. That was the best we've seen so far in this men's doubles final. Good timing. And these guys put it together with a faultless run in the final. Neither of them coming to grief at all, with some pretty difficult tricks as well. 91.25 for Hendricks and Frazier. Gold medal position for the moment, at least. Well, Andy McDonald was the champion of 1996. We can find out a lot more about him right now.
Who's Jerry Stackhouse? All right, game over. What do you mean game over? You're going down.
Andy McDonald certainly deserves credit as one of the best in the sport.
Pay attention to how many tricks he pulls off back to back. He's a master of that.
Okay. Big slide.
Do the greatest things at the biggest times.
It's all the power of positive thinking. So it's all about positive thinking. So last year, I mean, what were you thinking? I know before that contest, you told me, I said, what's it going to take to beat Tony Hawk? And what'd you say? Just kind of fluke it, is basically what I told you.
Andy McDonald looks like a medalist at the X Games.
This guy's been an idol of mine since I was a little kid. The scores came up, and as soon as I found out that I had won, there was somebody right there with a camera and a microphone. You just beat Tony Hawk, how do you feel? And it was just a total shock. Camera and a microphone in my face. How do you feel? After you win, I think that's when you're supposed to say, I'm going to Disneyland. I think so, something like that. It was just a totally new thing for me. The X Games was the first professional vert contest I had ever won in my life. Do you think the kids from the East Coast are a little more hardcore because of the conditions? I think they don't take it for granted as much. They don't have as good facilities out here. Welcome to Maximus Skateboard Park, Cambridge, Massachusetts. This is the place where I pretty much, I guess, learned how to skateboard. From Swirls, right? Yeah, I played soccer and basketball, and I remember like staying at practice an hour extra every day before the big swim meet or before the big game. It's not like that with skateboarding. Just relax and have fun and skateboard. And that's how it's always been, and hopefully that's how it'll always be. You think I need to warm up? You're going down. Should beat it right here. Coming back. Yeah, coming back. It's not gonna happen.
Andy McDonald, the individual champion of 96, has teamed up with Tony Hawk, the individual champion of 95 and again of 97. The two main men in vert skateboard riding, both residents of San Diego, drop in to try and give Tony Hawk his second gold medal of these games and Andy McDonald his first. Both living in San Diego, the proximity of the various skate parks to both their homes has meant that they've had a chance to train consistently for this. And Hawk 540s his way over the top of McDonald. Now they both step out, and the change of board happens beautifully. Now that maneuver would have taken a few hours of practice. He's picked up the spare one. 3 boards in the ramp at the same time. Hawk and McDonald entertaining as well as moving themselves closer to the $5,000 and the X Games gold. This is fabulous. Hawk and McDonald having a good time on the ramp. And why not? 95.25 is the highest score by far of the competition so far. And it's a tough target for Ringström and Dufour to chase. Matthias Ringström of Sweden skating in with Max Dufour of Canada. Both of them synchronized so far. Ringström stays low, Dufour goes high. Now they both go for grabs, but it's immediately apparent that the work hasn't gone into the routine. It's not a criticism, it's just a fact. Both of them have been concentrating on the individual competitions, and a lot of the partnerships were only formed on arrival at the X Games. Dufour, the Canadian from Montreal. And the interactive trick at the end seemed to come off. And they both finish safely without crashing. Max Dufour from Canada. Matthias Ringström from Sweden needed an impossible score of above 95 1/4 to lead the way. The best they can hope for is a chance of a place in the medals. Nice touch. The nose of the board tapped down on the edge of the board of Matthias Ringström, who was on top of the ramp. Now they're in the medals, 89.5. It's a better score than they achieved previously, and for the moment they hold bronze medal position. But who can possibly stop the number 1 and the number 2? Hawk and McDonald lead. The skateboarding vert men's doubles final reaching its climax as we watch Max Scharf and Bob Bernquist drop in for their last chance at a shot at the medals. Bernquist in blue, Scharf in white. Bob Bernquist, the man who was born in Rio de Janeiro, now lives in Daly City, California. Skates for Brazil. Father's an American, his mother's Brazilian. He's skating since he was 10, he's now 20. And he is a specialist of switch skating. That means skating with your weak foot. Oh, wow! With your weak foot behind. Oh! Crash helmets came in useful. Goodness me. That was a high-speed impact. They look to be okay, and Bernquist still has a smile on his face. And just for good measure, he bangs the trucks of the board on his hat, on his helmet, and then steps off Bernquist's back, and it all ends in a pile of riders and equipment, and Scharf looks like he's done himself some mischief as well. That was a super flip, but it was here that it came to blows. Oh. Now they're just outside of the medals. Shaft seems to be smiling again now. Oh, and they're still outside of the medals. 85-75. Couldn't improve. And they remain in the worst possible position. Fourth. Last chance now for Hendricks and Frazier. They're currently in second. They're guaranteed at least a silver. The silver's theirs. What they want, of course, is the gold and the bucks that come with it. Good aggressive start from Hendricks and Frazier. High flying, plenty of air time for both guys so far. Good crossovers. They're alternating the high man and the low one, and the low man putting in coping tricks as well. Oh. Good grabs from both guys. One does a trick, the other one follows it up with almost exactly the same thing. Almost immediately, there's their trademark, the invert with the legs pointing skyward along with the skate and holding it up there for several seconds. Well, time's up anyway, but these two guys have performed well in the face of adverse competition from Tony Hawk and Andy McDonald. They're the best of the rest. They've picked up a silver medal, $3,000 as well. And had a good time. We've got one more chance to see Tony Hawk and Andy McDonald. Hendricks and Frazier score their best mark in the third and final run, and they take the silver medal. Hawk and McDonald have already guaranteed themselves the gold with that best score of 95-25. This, like it was for Tony Hawk in the individual competition, is a formality, but knowing their competitive nature, they'll be wanting to improve on that score as Hawk tumbles and twists his way over the top of his partner. The last run in the men's doubles vert final features the two best skateboarders in the world, Tony Hawk in black, Andy McDonald in white. Here comes the big switch. Oh, and Hawk went for a 720. Fabulous. And the timing is immaculate as well. They've worked this one out to near perfection. The best doubles run ever seen, almost, until then at least. The switch didn't work. The change of skateboard didn't come off that time, but it didn't matter because they treated the crowd to a demo of how to do it properly. Hawk and McDonald, the X Games gold medalists. Hawk taking his second gold medal, having won the individual. McDonald, the winner of the individual 12 months ago. Sensational action and a light-hearted finish, although it's never been heavy, the X Games, but a fun finish for Hawk and McDonald. More money in the bank, more gold in the safe. Hawk and McDonald, Hendricks and Frazier, Ringstrom and D4, the way it finished in the men's doubles vert finals. You're watching the X Games and you're watching them on Eurosport.